All right, what's going on, y'all? So, y'all already know that House of the Dragon is in full swing when it comes to promo. The actors are all over the place doing interviews and stuff. And so they stepped onto CBS, and CBS gave us this new preview, this clip we haven't seen before of Damon speaking to Rhaenys. I wanted to get into it because I think that Damon here is being unfair to Rhaenys. Let's talk about it. All right, so like I said, the actors are doing promotion, right? And this time, this week, this morning, whatever, they stepped onto CBS, did some interviews, talked a little bit, and we got a new exclusive clip, right? So in this clip, Rhaenys and Damon are talking. Clearly, they're on Dragonstone. They looking good in their armor. They look so good, right? So they're talking. And Rhaenys clearly commenting on the fact that Rhaenyra has gone out to wherever Storm's End, wherever, to look for Luke, look for Arax. Rhaenys says to Damon, a raven has told Rhaenyra that her son is dead. She needs to know it for certain. And of course, this is coming from... This is such an interesting line here, especially given how Damon and Rhaenyra escorted Laenor off of the premises, like helped him escort himself off the premises, right? Out of here, out of Westeros. And Rhaenys, of course, is like, she thinks her son is dead at this point. And so I think she's relating somewhat, right, to what Rhaenyra is going through, where it's like, I understand that it may seem, foolish or whatever for her to go out there by herself, which is what Damon says next. But as a mother who, lost her son, I would want to, I can understand her wanting to find out for sure if her son is really dead, right? But like I said, Damon comes back with, well, she was a fool to go alone. What if Aemond were to happen upon her? And I mean, that is I don't know, I guess Aemond coming out of nowhere with Vhagar, it is definitely a valid fear, especially after the fact that he just killed Luke. You know what I mean? So I do understand Damon saying, like, Aemond, anybody could appear out of nowhere. Vhagar is already a big issue as it is, and if it's multiple people, Rhaenys, you will know. Oops. If it's multiple dragons at one time versus one, it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot. So Damon is rightfully concerned, but he's calling her a fool, So I think Rhaenys, he's not approaching it from the standpoint that Rhaenys is approaching it, where it's like, Rhaenys like, I get it emotionally. I get why Rhaenyra would do something like this. And so, of course, like I said, Damon said, oh, what if Aemond were to happen upon her? Rhaenys said, then I would pity Aemond. The queen was wise to recuse herself. She has not acted on the vengeful impulse that others might. And it's almost like, because Rhaenys and Rhaenyra have been like, y'all, at least in season 1, have been like, y'all, we need to just think about what we're doing. We got to think about what we're doing, right? And then all the men around them are just like, let's just jump into it. Fuck it. And that's because, men, y'all have been waging war since forever. And the women are just like, yo, we see how this shit affects the realm. We see what will happen politically. Like, if we just go into all out war, our dragons gonna die. It's just like, they're thinking about it. And so I think Rhaenys is approaching it from that perspective, but at the same time, it was kind of like a jab at Damon, like when she said, and others, right, other men in the realm, when she said, Rhaenyra has not acted on the vengeful impulse that others might. So of course Damon catches it. He catches the shade. He catches that shit, right? And he said, if you had acted when you had the chance, then Aegon's line would be extinguished and Luke would still be alive. And I was like, whoa, wait, Damon, wait. Like, wait. So that Luke, I think putting Luke on her is a lot. Like, that's doing a lot. And I'm gonna break down the whole, you should have burned. I'm sorry. Let's break it down. I understand Rhaenys' decision. I said this before, but I understand Rhaenys' decision to hold off on just burning Aegon and his family right there at the coronation in front of, not only would she have become a kingslayer, remember that? Kingslayer in front of everyone at the coronation, right? In front of everyone in King's Landing, basically. But she would have also become a kinslayer. A kinslayer. So she would have been a kingslayer and a kinslayer at the same time. We ain't even talking about the other political ramifications of it. Focusing back on the kingslayer thing. I mean, y'all seen how bad Jaime was dragged as kingslayer in Game of Thrones, right? In the Game of Thrones. They never let him live. They barely let him live that shit down. And he only killed the king because the king was actively trying to burn the citizens alive. So if Jaime could barely live that shit down, what makes you think that Rhaenys would not have to endure worse, especially as a woman in the realm, you know? And then being called Kinslayer on top of Kingslayer too. To me, it would be one thing if Rhaenyra popped up on her dragon, right, at the coronation and burnt them bitches up, right? Right, like, it would be one thing. Yes, the same things would apply, Kingslayer, Kinslayer, whatever, but at least it's the crown versus the, like, it's heir versus heir. Like, it's crown versus crown, would be crown, you know? Like, Rhaenys said, look, I be chilling in Driftmark with the Valyrians. Like, y'all already humbled me once with this queen who never was. Like, the realm already did that shit once. Like, this war is not mine to start. And honestly, to me, you can disagree or agree with whatever, but like, you can't understand why Rhaenys would stay her hand for a little bit? Like, just I don't know. I don't know. I don't think she's treated fairly here. You know, when it comes to people talk about, oh, well, she should have burnt them up. Why did she burn them up? It's like, things have political, far-reaching consequences. And to me, she don't have King's Landing level of political power. She's the lady wife of Corlys. So can you imagine her doing that shit, bringing her husband's house, you know what I mean, into all this shit without even taking the time to think about it? It's just, she got a whole lot of things to think about. That's like if like a senator or party leader in the U.S. came in and torched the White House. Like, there are a lot of things to consider before you just go do that willy-nilly, you know? And so, moving forward, I think that Damon placing the blame of Luke's death on Rhaenys is messed up, right? Because and this is no shade to Team Black. No shade, because I am Team Black. Like, I am rooting for Rhaenyra. But listen, how y'all gonna put all the blame on Rhaenys, but once y'all knew Viserys was disintegrating like that, y'all should have automatically assumed that the Greens were coming for the throne. Y'all should automatically assume that, you know, this was about to be war if things don't fall into place, you know, as soon as Viserys is done wasting away. Like, how did y'all, I mean, Sir Criston Cole hates y'all. And they sitting in King's Landing, mind you. They sitting in Washington, D.C. with all the fucking levers of government at their disposal, bitch. You know what I mean? Sir Criston Cole hates you. Alicent makes it clear that she hates y'all. She can't stand y'all ass, especially after what y'all did to her son, Aemon. And speaking of Aemon hates y'all. Sir Otto hates y'all. And clearly has been setting things up. I'm so sorry. If you look at Sir Otto, anybody that reminds you of Sir Otto, Varys, whatever, Littlefinger, and thinking that they not playing the game, that's on you, girl. Like, that's on you. You should have automatically known that day was coming. On top of all of that, Rhaenyra is a woman? Like, come on now, y'all, like, y'all talking about blaming Rhaenys for all this. Like, y'all sons, y'all children would have been dropping off them dragons, dying in war anyway, you know? So, I don't know, y'all blaming Rhaenys. Y'all should have been prepping. Y'all should have been prepping for this. The Greens were. The Greens were prepping. You thought that this was going to be a peaceful transfer of power. It's given Ned Stark syndrome. You really thought, and Cersei ripped that paper up so quick, do you hear what I'm saying? You thought that this was going to be a peaceful transfer of power after they've been sitting in King's Landing all this time, solidifying the city, solidifying their seat in the city. Like, y'all was out there on Dragonstone. I just think putting the weight of Luke's death onto Rhaenys is really messed up. So yeah, I mean, it's not just because Rhaenys is one of my favorite characters ever, and I would love to have brunch with her and the Queen of Thorns, right? Like, it's not just because she's one of my favorite characters, but it's because I don't think y'all thinking, including Damon, like, I don't think people are thinking about the fact that, like, Rhaenys is a lady wife. If she burnt the entirety of the White House, like, the White House, like, she burnt up Aegon and his whole fucking family, she's automatically carrying House Valyrian into some shit that Lord Corlys don't even know what's happening. Do you see what I'm saying? A lot of people just like, oh, just hop up and burn the shit. Like, okay, Rhaenys is probably like, girl, we probably gonna do this shit anyway. We probably gonna burn their ass up anyway. But why would I launch my people? Why would I launch my faction into war? We're not even prepared for that shit. And if you think that these bitches ain't gonna respond immediately, it's just like, so Why not take the time to fall back, create a battle plan? She already showed her power on top of Melee's. Like, I understand everybody talk about it's the Game of Thrones. It's the Game of Thrones. It's supposed to be ruthless, but whatever. You just go for it. You win or die. Like, I get it. But I don't think people are like thinking politically. I don't think they thinking like Rhaenys is like, girl, y'all already humbled me. Y'all already, I was already supposed to be queen. And then now, can you imagine how that looks? I'm over here killing, you know what I mean? Regicide. And y'all literally rejected me from the throne. On top of that, I'm gonna carry in my whole house, people who are connected to my house, into a war that we haven't even thought out yet, just because I'm mad that they got coronated. Y'all should have been intercepted the coronation. How a big coronation happened, Team Black? How a big coronation happened? I'm talking about they got a plan logistically. You know what I mean? Get the royal guards in there, the king's guard. I mean, they got to pimp out the dragon pit so that they could have all these civilians in there to watch Aegon be crowned. You mean to tell me that big coronation happened and y'all ain't know nothing, none of that shit? Y'all ain't know nothing? Y'all ain't hear no rumors come to Dragonstone that they were about to do that shit? Nothing. While you're trying to push for this female heir to be crowned, like, y'all, come on now. You can't put all that blame on Rhaenys. Y'all fucked up. Like Ned Stark, you really thought that they were going to be like, oh yeah, well, Rhaenyra is clearly supposed to be on the throne, even though she's a woman and this entire fucking society is sexist. We're going to put her there. Like, come on. And on top of that, Aegon is literally the son of Viserys. Y'all got to do better. I'm so sorry. So, like, yeah, they surprised y'all. Yeah, they got y'all. But y'all should have been known that coronation was happening, was supposed to happen. Y'all, I mean, you should have estimated that they were coming for the throne. Because, like, obviously they were. So to put all that on Rhaenys, I don't think that's acceptable. Damon, you annoyed me with this one like you do with so many other things. Or at least like you about to do, clearly. Because Rhaenyra already, the relationship seems, I mean, it was already shaky to begin with. It was already shaky. But, like, season 2 seemed like y'all about to be going through it. So you gonna piss me off. So let me know what y'all think about this. If I'm reaching, if I'm doing too much, if you do blame Rhaenys, leave it in the comments. If you don't, whatever. Let's talk about it. Thank you so much for watching. Love y'all so much, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace. All right, y'all, make sure that you're going to www.zaraxia.com. When you join the wait list there on the site, you will be the first to be notified when I drop my sequel. Also, you'll immediately get chapter 1 of my upcoming sequel of the upcoming book sent to your email as a PDF. So check that out. Also, this is a different excerpt from my upcoming book. So you definitely want to pause to read if you're trying to get your life. Keep in mind that this upcoming book, this sequel, is following up the first book that is already released called Zaraxia, Wrath of the God King. I released it a few years ago. It was my introduction to writing, fantasy and stuff. So just go easy on me. But either way, as you can see here, it's given 4.9 stars. So yeah, check out Zaraxia, Wrath of the God King while you wait for Zaraxia, The Vengeance of Cold Wind, right? And go to Zaraxia.com, sign up, join the wait list, get your free chapter. Thank you so much.